Arjun asks, it is in the past tense, so Arjun asked over here, rather than Arjun asks. My Lord, which are the better devotees who worship you? Those who try to know you as a personal God, or those who worship you as impersonal and indestructible? Here, just like any disciple on the path, Arjun asks Krishna, which are the better devotees? Those who worship thee or those who try to know thee? Meaning, those who follow the path of Bhakti Yoga or those who follow the path of Raj Yoga? Lord Krishna replies, those who keep their minds on me, who worship me always with unwavering faith and concentration, these are the very best. Those who worship me as the indestructible, the undefinable, the unmanifest, the omnipresent, the unthinkable, the primeval, the immutable, and the eternal. Subduing their senses, viewing all conditions of life with the same eye, and working for the welfare of all beings, assuredly they come to me. When Arjun asks Krishna, who is the better of the disciple? Those who worship you or those who try to know you? Krishna gives a very non-committal reply by saying, those who keep their minds fixed on me and who worship me always with unwavering faith and concentration are the very best. Krishna says over here, the path of Raj Yoga is the very best. Because he says, subduing the senses, viewing all conditions of life with the same eye, and working for the welfare of all beings, assuredly they come to me. But all the same, he is quite aware of the difficulties that we encounter practicing this, because he says it is difficult for those who possess a form and shape to realize him in his unmanifested form. Knowing how difficult it would be for all of us to do this, he would not like us to be disillusioned and discouraged. So in the shlok he says, but they who thus fix their attention on the absolute and impersonal encounter greater hardships, for it is difficult for those who possess a body to realize me as without one. He goes on to say in the shlok, verily, those who surrender their actions to me, who muse on me, worship me, and meditate on me alone, with no thought save of me. O Arjun, I rescue them quickly from the ocean of life and death, for their minds are fixed on me. Then let your mind cling only to me, let your intellect abide in me, and without doubt you shall live hereafter in me alone. In the exposition, Mr. T says over here, knowing how difficult it would be for all of us to do this, to realize him, we who possess a body, a form, a shape, to realize him who is not in form, who is not manifest. Knowing how difficult it would be for all of us to do this, Krishna would not like us to be disillusioned and discouraged. So he quickly adds that if all of this is not possible, then at least dedicate your actions to me, all your actions. Hence, before doing anything, we should say, "Oh Krishna, I do this, all of this for you. Good or bad, I do not know. Please help me and guide me." Once we do this, we have nothing to fear because we know He is there to help us to face all the difficulties which life imposes on us. That is a promise He makes to all of us. If we go to Him and offer ourselves to Him, He will surely embrace and hold us and submerge our being into His. We are told usually that we have to submerge our being into Him. It is not possible. I was looking into one thing today in the morning, that even though Arjuna is asking Krishna over here, which is a better path? This path or that path? The path of bhakti yoga, the path of action. The state of intoxication, God intoxication as we call it. Mr. T writes in the notes somewhere that if it could be induced by a drug, let's say, by jap, by mantras, whatever form, then in the near future or in the distant future, wouldn't it be possible for humans to, let's say, create a chemical, pop a pill, and we would all be God intoxicated? Would it not be that simple? If today by popping a pill, we relieve ourselves of pain, which is what simply altering our structure, altering our state inside, right? Mr. T asks, then would it not be possible to create a chemical and to pop a pill and to be in that state of intoxication for all 24 hours? But it is not possible to do that. It is not possible simply because even though that we may change our state, we may change our state to become thoughtless internally, which is not possible. At least we can induce that state, however. It is not possible for one reason only, that when we reach out to the Lord inside, we have to reach out with full consciousness. We have to redeem what we have been doing. When we come, where we have come from, is a state of non-awareness. To change that from non-awareness to awareness is the entire thing. And once we change that with His help, then not only are we going to a certain level, but for the final distribution, He has to reach down and take us up. Do you understand this? It is not something that we have to do. In the final moment, it is His grace. In the final moment, it is His grace. Nothing else works. So whatever that we may be able to induce within ourselves, it is a false state. Only through right action. But then what He says, that He will surely embrace and hold us and submerge our being into His. He will decide. He will do. We have to reach out, yes. And it cannot be an induced state. Why are we doing the exercises? As Mr. T writes in the notes, then maybe in the distant future, one can surely pop a pill and induce that state which we are now creating by the faith exercises, altering our very structure. That is not going to be possible by a chemical, simply because what is required over here and what is acting upon our being over here is consciousness. Our awareness being upgraded to a certain level from what we are, from where we are now, but His consciousness coming into us just by chanting of the Om, by chanting of the Gayatri inside, doing the faith exercises, all the exercises. It is His consciousness, one drop comes in and everything is still, कुछ करने का जरूरत नहीं है. Am I making sense with this? In the end, the practices are not the true reason for becoming one with God. They only serve to remove the obstacles which are preventing us from submerging into Him. In the end, it is His grace. Clear? Clear?